the song with your heart. Play the song with your heart.
And one time, Eagles versus Buccaneers, 32-9. The Eagles have been eliminated. This is not surprising. We both picked the Buccaneers this game. I feel like majority of people picked the Buccaneers this game. And just like with the Cowboys, this was a collapse, but it was a collapse that we foresaw from December. Well, you foresaw earlier than that, really. You were saying, yo, this defense is trash. And before the season started, I said that the Cowboys were going to win a division because I thought that the Eagles offense was going to struggle early on. I thought that it was going to be a work in progress. I thought that the defense wasn't going to be as good as well. And what I didn't see coming is them being one and done. I thought that they were going to improve as the season wanes. They didn't improve at all. They got worse as
Yeah.
the season got longer and longer. And man, they have the worst defense in the NFL, worst offenses in the NFL, and they don't have a way to beat the blitz. Like every time they were blitz, I'm looking at them like what is this? It's like verticals, like comeback routes. Like what is this? And I just didn't see this coming. I know you were excited. I just got to ask you, how did you feel about just the way that the Eagles played? And obviously, just as a Cowboys fan, just talk about your emotion after seeing that game.
Well, seeing the Eagles' demise did cheer me up a little bit because the jokes were elite during that time. There was the Jalen Hurts, Drew Walls jokes and all of that, and then the picture Bleacher Report put up was hilarious. And I mean, we all saw the writing on the wall over these last few weeks. After they lost to the Cardinals, then they lost to the Giants. It was just like, yeah, this team is done. I doubt they can rally together and then go on a playoff run. I was like, this team is finished. That's why I changed my pick at the very last second before the we recorded last week. I said, there's no way the Eagles win this one. I just can't see it. And lo and behold, you saw what happened. The offense still looked the same. They couldn't pass the ball much. Devonta Smith tried. He tried his best. He was the only one out there with some heart in my eyes. Him and Dallas Goddard, I suppose.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else lackluster. Jalen Hurts. As much as I don't like Jalen Hurts and I get on Jalen Hurts and talk trash about Jalen Hurts, he is not in an offense that will help him succeed in this league currently. Because the play calls I seen, it was this play. I don't know if it was fourth or third down, but he dropped back. Blitzer coming right at him. No routes going across the middle of the field. They had two receivers running out, literally maybe 5 yards from each other. Then they had another route on the left side that wasn't open. I'm like, well, how was he supposed to succeed in this? Like, you got to be on. I'm going to put the hate aside and analyze it. How was he supposed to succeed in this system? Seriously. Because they have no hot routes. They don't give him control at the line to make audibles and detect the blitz and say, okay, I want you to do this instead. They don't give him that luxury. So I'm wondering, what exactly does Nick Sirianni do during the week? If he's the offensive guy, they say this is his offense. What does he do?
He doesn't do anything.
I don't understand. And then Brian Johnson is going to be the fall guy because that's just how it works. But Shane Steichen, look what he has done in Indianapolis. They was one game from making the playoffs. It was one game from winning the division, actually.
Mm-hmm.
And that offense, they had Michael Pittman out there cooking. They had all these. They didn't have they had way less talent than the Eagles did.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it's just a shame, man. That defense, my God. John Desai, Matt Patricia, you should never coach in this league again after what you did to that defense. That defense was god awful. They thought Jonathan Gannon defense was bad. This was, bruh. They couldn't stop nothing. They couldn't stop the run. They couldn't stop the pass. James Bradbury,
yo. Hey, you saw that clip I put up. It showed that rookie he was defending, right? Literally, he could not tackle the rookie. He couldn't tackle the rookie. Trey Palmer. And Trey Palmer touchdown. Boom. And I think it was it Joe Buck who said, Oh, missed tackle by Bradbury. I'm like, oh my god, you can't
Ray
make this
Lewis
up.
was sick to his stomach watching that game. Like I thought he was going to upchuck on the stream from that tackling. And Debo, he was right. What about Bradbury? Trash. Because good God, that was I said it since last year. I said that was the most fluke all pro I've ever seen in my life because he is food for real. And we all seen it this year. The man was burnt toast. I don't think he locked down a single receiver. I probably could have got 20 yards on him.
Mm.
It was just bad, man. That secondary was garbage. I mean, seriously, they had no depth. The linebackers, I say in the beginning of the year, I said the main concerns for the Eagles would be that secondary and the linebackers. And lo and behold, look what happened. Nolan Smith, you ain't get no production from him really. I think he had a sack in the game earlier, but for the whole year, he ain't really do much. Jalen Carter had a first good half of the year, then he disappeared. Jordan Davis, I forgot he was on the
He's
field.
ass. He's not even playing for real. For
Like
real.
Hassan Reddick, they dropping him back in coverage on some Dan Quinn stuff. I'm like, what? He was the sack leader last year. What are y'all doing?
Mm-hmm.
Josh Sweat, I don't know where he was.
Mm-mm.
It was just bad, man. It's just bad. That was that. Honestly, I didn't understand the wanting to find Nick Sirianni thing because he had 3 winning seasons, and then he went to the Super Bowl the second year. But like honestly, I don't know. Ain't no excuse for that. You
I
went 10-1
yeah.
and lost the division, and they got bounced. Not even you got blown out in the wild card.
I think I
And
think with I think with Nick Sirianni is I feel like the players just seeing some of the clips, just seeing some of his antics on the sideline. I don't think the players respect him. He seems very immature.
he doesn't look like a leader of men.
He doesn't. He looks like a fan like in Philly as like the head coach. I swear to God, like I'm looking at him he nodding on the
They let the fan
sideline.
coach. They let the fan coach.
He nodding on the
Oh
sideline.
man.
Like you know how like Gilly, right? Gilly
Mm-hmm.
from what's you
$1
call it?
million
Million
worth
dollar
of
worth of
game. Yeah.
game. It's like if Gilly was the head coach. Like, bro, like he doing these antics on the sideline. He look, talking
I don't
trash
hear
to the Chiefs
anything, Chiefs
fans.
fans. Like
Yeah,
what kind of
like
head coach does that?
that's some stuff Gilly would do if he was the head coach. Like I'm telling you, bro, like he just reminds me of like a fan, like no maturity at all. I remember during the Chiefs game, he had his hands. I think he may have been pointing at somebody, and Jalen Hurts had to say, "Hey, put your arm down" and all that stuff. Like,
Yeah,
bro,
like
this is yeah, man. I don't think the players respect him. Like AJ Brown, all of a sudden, he's unfollowing like he's taking all of his Eagle stuff off his page and everything like that. Like, and then
the
Jason
night
Kelsey.
before the game, I think he was in Vegas watching the fight.
Yeah, and then Jason Kelsey, he's yelling at Nick Sirianni. He looks distraught and everything like that. Like during his podcast, like they had to like stop the podcast because he
That
was
actually
so mad.
that was an old clip. This is why I hate the internet. That was like a clip from last year.
Oh, that was a clip from last year?
Yeah.
Oh my god. Why would they
See,
do
this is
that?
why the
Why
internet.
would they do that? Come on, man. But he was still distraught. Like on the sideline, he was yelling at,
Yeah.
at at Nick Sirianni, and it was like, oh, people weren't trying to make a big deal out of it. Like, oh, it happens all the time. But I've never seen Jason Kelsey do that before. So it's like, what are you talking about? But anywho, yeah, man. Like I just feel like the players don't respect him, and I think for that reason alone, you might have to fire him. Like it depends on just the way that the players like look and sort of perceive Nick Sirianni. If they don't respect Nick Sirianni, if you don't respect your head coach, then I'm sorry. Like it is what it is. Like you lost the locker room, and that's just you're not going to be able to come back from that.
And
And
then the org is making Jalen Hurts the scapegoat, saying his demeanor is probably the reason why the team isn't all that good. Like they think the team could be better if he changed his demeanor. I'm like, oh wow, this is nasty. Because all last year we've been hearing about, oh, Jalen Hurts such a great locker room guy. He's a great leader. Now when
I
stuff
know,
don't
right?
go right, oh, well, his demeanor isn't. I'm like, okay, so which one is? You can have it both ways. Is he a good leader or not?
They trying to say he a cosplay and motivational speaker.
Mm.
He's a oh my god. Oh, that's yeah, man. I feel like at the end of the day, it comes down to the coaching staff and just how much they've just regressed. And maybe this is just who Nick Sirianni is. Maybe he was just exposed. He had a great coaching staff, and the minute he doesn't have that great coaching staff anymore, and he's gonna have to do more now, he can't do it. And who knows? I don't know. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're just gonna say, all right, we're just gonna get rid of Brian Johnson and the rest of the defensive coaching staff. But I feel like for the betterment of the Eagles, you might have to just let go of the entire coaching staff and just start fresh, start over. Because if Nick Sirianni is just if he's just a face, if he just, he's the face, like if everything go wrong, oh, just blame him. If that's all he is, and I mean, then how you gonna win with that? You can't win with that because you're dependent on everybody else, and that's the problem with the situation. And I feel like there's better coaches out there, Mike Vrabel, Bill Belichick, you name it, that can probably do a way better job than Nick Sirianni, and that are not dependent on, oh, my OC, my DC. Because I look at the 49ers and I feel like they are the standard. Although they haven't won a Super Bowl, I feel like for the NFC specifically, they are the standard when it comes to, yeah, Kyle Shanahan, he loses OCs, he loses DCs, but they're still great because he's a great coach and he understands, okay, how to build a coaching staff. It's not always, oh, well, if I lose this OC, we're gonna have a down year offensively because we don't have that OC that was really helping us. It's like, no, like he had Mike McDaniels leaves, they're still great. He had D'Amico Ryans, he leaves, they're still great. Like that's great coaching, and that's identifying talented coaches. And with Nick Sirianni, it seems like he don't have that. It seems like he doesn't have that in his disposal. And so because of that, the fact that he promoted Matt Patricia should let you know that he doesn't know what he's doing. Matt Patricia was a byproduct of Belichick. If there's one thing I'll give Belichick credit for, is defense. Matt Patricia, that defense was not, when they won the Super Bowl against Seattle, I thought, oh, Matt Patricia, he's an elite defensive coordinator. No, he's not. That was Bill Belichick the entire time. We were fooled. We were fooled. And the minute Matt Patricia left the Patriots, what happened with the Patriots defense? They were still really good. They've always been really good. He goes to Detroit. What happened? They were atrocious. They couldn't stop nobody. So at the end of the day, yeah, Philly, it's not all sunshine and rainbows up in there, and they're gonna have to really look at that coaching staff and determine if they want to replace Nick Sirianni. I know the answer, but do they?
Mm.
Mm.
On the other hand, though,
Yeah.
shout out to the Buccaneers, man. Y'all played a heck of a game, man. Baker Mayfield, they wrote you off. You ain't right back though. Got tied your playoff win total with Dak Prescott. So salute to that. They did their thing, man. They did their thing.
They did their thing.
See, unfortunately, they got the Lions next week. No. Yeah, they got the Lions.
Yeah, they do. They do. Yep.
Good luck with that.
I will say this though. The offensive coordinator for the Buccaneers, every place he's been.
Is it Dave? Is his name Dave or Dane Canales? I think it's Dave.
I think it may have been Dave. It's Dave. That guy.
I want him too. Daggone it.
That guy, wherever he's been, the quarterbacks have had career years. You go to Seattle with Russ, with Geno, career years. Buccaneers, Baker Mayfield, career year. I forgot where else he went to, but every place he's gone, the quarterback has had a career year.
Please come to Dallas.
I'm just saying, the dude, he know what he doing offensively. So, yeah, that dude, he's been tremendous, and the fact he was able to help Baker in that way. Baker was a journeyman for a little bit. Like he went from the Browns to the Panthers and now the Bucks. Like this is the third team, and all of a sudden
the Rams too.
Oh, I forgot about the Rams. The Rams as well. And the fact that he's looked like a pretty solid quarterback, like a quarterback that you like, man, maybe Baker, he all right. Like you could win games with Baker. The fact that he made Baker look better than what he was with the Browns. I mean, damn, like you gotta get this dude credit, because nobody really thought that the Buccaneers offense was gonna look like this year. Like we thought it was going to be a huge regression because Tom Brady's going to
Because
lead.
honestly, I didn't even know who the heck Rashad White was before the season.
I knew Rashad White because of fantasy. That's the only reason. Fantasy because of the projections, but I did not see this coming. Baker Mayfield playing better than Tom Brady. Like I didn't see that happening. So salute to the Buccaneers. They have absolutely just we didn't see this coming, man. We didn't see this coming. All right, let's go.
Look, cold world, still a cold world. And a couple y'all is cool, but we a little more thorough. Whole time, a little more girls. You know I spit that sick shit and it's still no cure. Hold up, loud pack.